In the meantime, I'm not going to stand by while partisan gridlock or political games threaten the hard work of millions of Americans. So wherever and whenever I can go ahead and help families like yours, I've got the legal authority to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to wait. Not going to wait. You know, that's why I've taken a bunch of actions this year just to help working Americans, while still reaching out to Congress. What I've said to them is, if you're not acting, I'm going to go ahead and do what I can. So Congress won't act to make sure women have the ability to get equal pay for equal work. I made sure that women have the protections they need to fight for fair pay in the workplace. I think when women succeed, America succeeds. We're going to keep on investing in that. If Congress won't act to create jobs in construction or manufacturing, we're going to go ahead and speed up permits for big projects that are already funded and launch new hubs to attract more high-tech manufacturing jobs. Because I want to make sure the next revolution in manufacturing and technology is an American revolution right here in the United States. I don't want to go into France or Germany or China. I want it to happen here. If Congress won't act to help more young people manage their student loan debt, and Republicans voted against a bill that would allow young people to refinance at lower rates, I went ahead and gave nearly 5 million Americans the opportunity to cap their student loan payments at 10% of their income. I don't want them saddled with debt before they start out in life. I want to make sure that they're able to pursue a career in teaching or social work or work in a non-for-profit, and they can still afford it. Republicans so far refused to raise workers' wages. I did what I could. Turns out I'm a pretty big employer. So I said, any federal worker, anybody who works for federal contractors, they're going to have to pay their employees a fair wage of at least $10.10 an hour. And I asked business owners and governors and mayors and state legislators to do what they could on their own. And by the way, since I first asked Congress to raise the minimum wage, 13 states have gone ahead and raised theirs, and those states have seen higher job growth than the states that haven't raised their minimum wage. And more business owners are choosing to lift wages for workers like Alex. America needs a raise. And by the way, when America needs a raise, I was talking to Carolyn, our sub-owner, last night, and she made the simple point, look, I want tax cuts and raises for my workers and for others who don't have a lot, because that means they're going to buy more sandwiches. I mean, I can already afford a sub sandwich. You give me a tax cut, I'm not going to spend, I'm not going to buy more sub sandwiches. I can only eat so many. But that's true about the economy generally. When you give tax breaks and you give raises, you raise the minimum wage, you give a bigger chance to folks who are, climbing the ladder, working hard, don't have a lot at the end of the month, that money gets churned back into the economy. And the whole economy does better, including the businesses. Now, I gather that some of the Republicans in Congress are mad at me for going ahead and doing things. And I don't know which things they find most offensive, whether it's creating jobs or easing student loan burdens or raising wages. But it's really bothering them. They have a plan to sue me. They have a plan to sue me for taking executive actions that are within my authority while they do nothing. I have a better idea. They should do something. I will work with them. Rather than engage in political stunts that waste time and taxpayer money, join me. Let's do some things together. Let's build some roads. Let's give America a raise. Let's help families with child care costs. There are all kinds of things we can do. Don't be mad at me for doing something. How about teaming up with me? Let's all do something. Let's all get America working. We are better than this. Gosh, doesn't it get you just frustrated? We could do so much more. If Republicans in Congress focus less on protecting the folks who've got the lobbyists and all that soft money out there, stop worrying about the folks who already are doing just fine. Focus more on stoking opportunity for all people. Work with me. That's the American way. That's what makes this country great. A sense of common purpose and patriotism, an economic patriotism that says we fall and we rise as one nation, as one people. So we can rally America around an economic patriotism that says, don't give tax breaks to millionaires, billionaires. Let's give more tax breaks to help working families pay for child care or college. Let's rally around a patriotism that says, don't give tax loopholes to corporations shifting jobs overseas. Let's put people back to work here, rebuilding our roads, our bridges, our airports, making sure the next generation of manufacturing is made in America. That's patriotism. That's patriotism. Don't stack the deck in favor of those who've already succeeded. We're stronger when we're helping everybody succeed, cultivating every talent of every child, every 4-year-old in America. Give them high-quality preschool so they're safe and taught well while we go to work and redesign our high schools to prepare our kids for the 21st century. And tell every American, if your job was stamped obsolete, if it was shipped overseas, we're going to train you for an even better one. We need an economic patriotism that says it's a good thing that everybody gets health insurance. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. It's a good thing when women are paid the same as men for doing the same work. That's not un-American. It's a good thing when parents have some flexibility when their kids are sick. It'll make the employees more loyal. They're more productive. It's a good thing when nobody who works full-time is living in poverty. That's not un-American. It's not radical. It's right. It's what built this country. I know that sometimes it must be frustrating watching what's going on. I guarantee you I get frustrated. There are some things that I have to mutter under my breath sometimes. And the hardest thing to change in politics is a stubborn status quo. And it's harder when Washington seems distracted by everything except the things you care about. And there's a cottage industry in Washington that counts on you just being cynical about stuff so that you don't vote, you don't get involved, you get discouraged, you say a plague on both your houses. But you can't give in to that cynicism. Do not let them win by you being cynical. Because despite everything that's happened, despite all the obstruction, America's making progress. We're better off now than we were 5 years ago. We're going to be better off 5 years from now than we are right now. Despite the unyielding opposition of a few, there are workers who have jobs who didn't have them before. There are families who have health insurance who didn't have them before. There are students who can afford to go to college who couldn't afford to go before. There are troops who are home with their families after serving tour after tour of war. Don't get cynical. Don't do it. Cynicism is a popular choice these days. It's what passes off for wisdom. But cynicism isn't wise. And remember that it is a choice. Cynicism is a choice, and hope is a better choice. And it's a choice that I make every time I sit down with the incredible people that I had dinner with last night. They make me hopeful. It's the hope that Alex has when she sits down and she picks up a pen and she writes to the president, hoping that the system still works, hoping maybe the letter gets there, hoping that I'll listen, hoping that even when Washington seems tone deaf, your voice might reach a president. Your voice might reach a crowd in a park. Your voice might move fellow citizens to change what needs changing. Every day, I receive these thousands of acts of hope from you. I'm listening. That's why I ran for office. That's why I'm fighting for you. I will keep treating your cares and concerns as my own. I will keep trying to restore the American dream for everybody who's willing to work for it.